Hi, my name is Linda and I'm a co-founder and property finder at YES Valencia. We mostly work in Valencia city and the market is getting a bit more intense and challenging to find the property that you are looking for. So therefore, we suggest our clients to look into properties that need some renovation work. Hence, it takes us to a situation when there can be some mistakes made unless it's done properly. So today we're going to share some tips on what not to do when renovating a property in Valencia. First mistake to avoid would be to underestimate the timeline. First thing, we are in Spain and there are many variables that come along the way, like permits, finding the right architect, getting permit approvals, deliveries, construction workers, and so on and so on. So thinking that you will get everything done in a month or two, it's quite optimistic. So it's better to plan the renovation works well ahead and also give yourself time while renovating. And also important, do not give in a notice of your current rental apartment until you are 100% sure about your moving in date. Good and cheap does not really exist. I know it's tempting sometimes to accept a quote that is very, very competitive, and it looks that these professionals probably are great professionals. It's not always the case. We recommend to select a team that is experienced and also probably costs a bit more, but at least it will give you peace of mind, better quality, and in a long run, it will turn out cheaper and more affordable than going with somebody who says that will do for cheap, but then at the end you lose on the quality and you have to fix things after them. Sometimes in Valencia you see people are quite relaxed about permits, and also in reality when you look at the properties you see that there are some parts that are not really 100% legal, so on and so on, but it should not encourage you to ignore permits. Permits are super important, especially if you are a foreigner and are starting a renovation works. We can guarantee there can be, and most likely will be, some inspections, or even like nosy neighbors will ask, what are you doing there? So we do encourage to take care of the permits and do things legally. Before making the final decision, we do, especially when it comes to renovation works, we do recommend to inspect the place prior to purchasing and committing. Not everything is visible for a regular person, so inspecting the place with an architect who possibly will do your renovation project is number one step to make sure that things that you want to be done can be done. We're talking about windows, we're talking about moving bathrooms, maybe opening the kitchen, whatever you want to happen. It's important that you can actually do it physically and also technically. Yep. It can happen, especially if you are thinking of renovating of your future family home and so on. So it doesn't really happen when you buy properties that are in a very well-established areas and in buildings that are recognized as historical value or monuments. But if you purchase a property in an area that is at the moment up and coming, or you purchase a property in a building that probably is a bit interesting from a legal point of view, and also maybe the building itself, that these things can happen in Cabanyal, for example, or maybe if you are renovating a property that doesn't have an elevator. So in these cases, do think through how much money you're going to spend on this property. We understand it's probably your dream property and it's going to become your home for a long time, but in case you have to sell it, then don't expect the buyer to pay premium price for something that is actually not there yet. Although the renovation could be the top quality, maybe it's worth thinking of not over renovating for the area or for the type of property you're actually getting yourself in. The last point, which is actually very important for Spain and Valencia, when you are new in the community and you start renovation work and you don't really know how exactly things work in Spain, then be very aware and about the community rules and the neighbors. The neighbors will be nosy and the newcomers usually are watched closely. So be aware of all the rules, when and how you can do renovation work, what type of permits do you need to have, and sometimes you also have to set the limits. It's not only that you have to comply, but there will be neighbors that probably will be more involved than you want them to be. So again, knowing what the community rules are, knowing what the law is super important, because then you can do everything in a legal frame, as well as protect yourself from nosy neighbors. Thank you for watching us. We hope that these tips will help you to avoid some mistakes that can cost you time and money. And we hope to see you soon. And if you're considering of buying a place in Valencia, feel free to reach out to us.